Hello and welcome. This is Farming Simulator 22 and this is my first video of survival in No Man's Island. The island was filled with a lot of emptiness, surrounded with waters and nothing going on apart from green grass growing with one tall tree at the center, with rocks surrounding its borders and one selling store that holds my starting equipment. I was dropped by a ship at the harbor and mounted onto my bicycle ready to start my challenge. But before we continue, if you like this content, kindly subscribe, like, and let's continue. I headed to the store where my starting equipment were, and on reaching I was really surprised because the equipments were a saint and a shovel. Now that my goal is to survive the day, I have to use these equipments to generate income where I will harvest the grass and sell it. So I selected a small portion close to the selling point and began working on it. After a given period of time, I had cleared the portion. I went for the shovel, I collected the grass, and immediately I headed to the selling point. I earned my first starting few dollars, which then I repeatedly doing it for some time, and my account balance rose to $500. The amount was so small, but at the same time, my survival on the island was guaranteed. After that small and steady income from selling grass, I lost the fear and I thought of upgrading my equipment, where I headed to the store and leased a mower which had a carrying capacity of 4,000 liters. I paid few dollars and I was given the equipment. I immediately put it into work. After using the newly acquired machine for some times, the capacity was full. So I immediately headed to the selling point to sell the fresh grass. The grass, I sold it for $124, such a pretty good amount since I started my survival. The income really motivated me and I was happy for that, which gave me more strength, and did it for 1 hour, which blew my account to $5,700. The amount really motivated me and I kept doing it for 1 hour, and my account balance blew to $5,700. Now that I began getting tired from the long hours of working, I decided to hire a worker to do the harvesting for me, while I headed directly to the store and selected a trailer that was leased at a low amount and had a higher carrying capacity, and together with a tractor. After securing them, I immediately headed to collect the grass. After the trailer was full, I headed to the selling point, where I earned my first $1,043. But I realized that the fresh grass was being sold cheaper compared to a hay, and now that I have everything except a tailor and a windrower, I decided to quit harvesting the fresh grass and I returned to the store. I hired a tailor and a windrower which I immediately jumped into the field and began making hay. After I was done, I attached my trailer and collected the hay, and immediately I headed to sell my first harvest of hay, which earned me a $1,464. Such a pretty good amount of money. I wish I had been doing this, but I cannot blame myself because I had no money. I did it for 3 hours to and from without getting tired, and my account balance boomed to $20,300. Now that the day was coming to an end, so my challenge was almost to completion, and I had harvested a lot of fresh grass which I cannot leave it at a waste. I decided to make silage, where I jumped into the construction store and bought a low cell bunker silo at $4,500. I constructed the silo and I immediately began filling it with the remaining grass. After a given period of time, the silo was full. I compacted it with my own tractor and covered it to wait for fermentation.